Hi, it's Stephanie from Savoir Faire. I'll bet that you have serviced your car more recently than you've serviced your website. Am I right? There are many good reasons for a website redesign, whether it's part of a larger rebranding effort, updating some underlying technology so the site is easier to use or to manage, or your site is generating lackluster results, or maybe it just looks like it was last updated in 2005. Eventually, there comes a time when you've used up all your Band-Aids to hold your site together. And redesigns are a great way to transform your website into a sleek and dynamic sales and marketing tool. Having the right process in place can make the job a whole lot easier and set you up for success. So whether you're working with a marketing agency like Savoir Faire or redesigning in-house, the following steps can make the difference between an effective project and a nightmare. Now, I will admit this is not your average list of steps. There are many detailed and tactical checklists that are available online. But one thing that's commonly overlooked and that can make or break your redesign is how the redesign will support or improve your overall marketing efforts. Your website isn't a silo, and it's not just about how it looks. Your website is the hub of your digital marketing efforts, and it affects all the other things you're doing, including social media, email marketing, lead generation, brand awareness, and any sales strategies you have in place. So if you want to turn your website into a machine that will work toward long-term success, consider the following. 1, benchmark your current metrics. Before you start planning anything, document your current web performance. Start by looking at the data from your existing site. You want to review things like, the percent of desktop and mobile traffic. This is going to tell you how people are accessing your site. The number of sessions and unique visitors, which will tell you how often your site is visited and by how many people. The bounce rate and the time on the site will tell you whether people are spending time on your site or immediately bouncing off of it. And your current rankings for relevant keywords, which will show you whether you're being found by the right people. Another thing to look at is the number of new leads or form submissions, which would give you a sense of whether your site is helping you engage with your visitors. And finally, has your site generated any sales? Now, if you don't have access to this information, I absolutely recommend adding a tool like Google Analytics for visibility into your website performance. Secondly, determine your goals. If you're considering a website redesign, you should have a good reason. It's not just about how it looks, but how it works. So get really clear about why you're doing the redesign and how the project is going to help you achieve some larger business goals. What do you want a website to do? Do you want it to attract more people to the site to learn about your company and your offerings? Do you want it to generate new leads to help you grow sales? Do you want it to encourage return visits and repeat business? Or do you want to launch a new product or service into the marketplace? Once you determine your website objectives, tie them to specific success metrics so you know what you're striving for. That's where those performance metrics that I mentioned earlier come in. You know where you started and you know what you're striving for. Number 3, avoid pitfalls by taking an inventory of your assets. While a redesign is a great way to improve results, there are countless ways it can hurt you. Your existing website may contain a number of assets that you have built up over time, and losing those might damage your performance. Those assets might include the most shared or viewed or engaged with content on your website, the most trafficked pages, your best performing keywords and the pages they're associated with, or inbound links to any of the individual pages on your site. For example, if you remove a page that has a number of inbound links, you could lose search engine rankings for valuable keywords that bring qualified traffic to your site. Keep in mind that many independent web designers and developers might not consider this step because they're not marketers. All right, number 4, analyze the competition. While I don't recommend obsessing over your competitors, it does help to see how you compare. So run your website through a website grader such as SEMrush or HubSpot to obtain a report card of how your website and your marketing is performing today. Then run your competitors through SEMrush so you can see what their strengths and weaknesses are. Take a look at their websites and make a note of what you like and what you don't like. The goal isn't to copy them, but to uncover where you stand apart and what you could do better. Once you've run the analysis, put together an action list of what areas you can improve on and what you can do differently than your competitors. If these steps sound arduous to the point that you won't do them, that's fine. Savoir Faire would be pleased to work through these steps with you. Because revitalizing websites is just one more way we make your marketing matter.